Alright, so this video I felt compelled to make. Unfortunately for you, I did not feel compelled to plan it, so I apologize in advance if it gets a little bit off track. Let's get started. Now, by the time you watch this, what I'm about to tell you will have already taken place. And hopefully it goes as well as I'm thinking that it's going to. Alright, my friend Eric is about to get married. It's up in Philadelphia, and I'm going back to his wedding. And that's not the exciting part. The exciting part for me is that I get to see somebody that I haven't seen in about 20 years, and actually tell them how much they mean to me and how much they changed my life. There are certain people, I feel, in our lives that come into it and they are incredibly formative. Whether or not they teach you something, they encourage you, and I'm not talking about your parents. I'm talking about random people that end up somehow ending up, in your life, and they are formative. And at the time, you may not realize how important they were, or how important to basically your development and the person that you are, they are at the time, but looking back, you can see like, wow, that person right there was responsible for really helping me be who I am today. For those of you who don't know, I was a wrestler in high school. That's me, looking tough. I was a good wrestler, actually, but it was through wrestling that I actually met a gentleman named Charlie Kramer. Charlie was my wrestling coach, and looking back, I realized that he was the single most important person in helping me develop into the man I am today. Now, like I said, I'm not talking about parents, okay? Parents, yes, most important, but he was the person, when I look back, that really just he made a difference. He made a difference in my life. And, I never had the opportunity to actually tell him how important he was and how much I appreciate what he did for me. I don't even think he realized, because here's the deal. With certain people, they're so, I don't even, like, yeah, I have turned into such a sentimental fool over the course of the past few years, and I get choked up. Like, when I was looking through the pictures for this video, I started to get super, like, just verklempt. I'm like, oh God, how am I gonna get through this video? How am I gonna get through telling this guy how much he meant to me? And I know now, like, without a shadow of a doubt, that when I tell him this, I'm gonna cry. Hopefully, I'm gonna pull him to the side, but that's how impactful this guy was to me. It's truly hard to say where I'd be, right now if it wasn't for the time that I spent with Charlie Kramer. I'm so compelled to let people in my life know how much they mean to me and how much they have helped me. There are multiple people in my life that I really can identify as those formative people, those impactful people. Like, if I didn't meet so-and-so, if they didn't take an interest in me or invest their time and energy in me, where would I be today? And I know that I'm not alone, and I know that you guys all, most of you, some of you may not, you might not have met them yet. You're going to have people in your life like my Charlie Kramer. My Charlie Kramer, that sounds funny, right? We all have people in our lives that are impactful, that helped us pivot, right? If it wasn't for them, who knows? Reach out, right? Reach out and let them know. Now, it can be an email, it can be a letter, it can be going to see them, but let them know how much they mean to you and how much they impacted you in a positive way. And I know this is not something easy for us to do, especially if you're not one to freely express yourself or share emotions, but I'm telling you, we owe it to these people. Right? Because if it wasn't for them, where would we be? Right? Life is about relationships. Life is about helping other people. And I truly feel that the people that have impacted us, we should let them know. Not only because it feels good for us, but it feels good for them, and they deserve it, right? They invested in you, and it's a little thing that you can do just to let them know that their time, their energy it has not gone unnoticed, or it has not been in vain. I know that I'm not going to be able to keep it totally, like, together when I tell them. I can hardly tell you without getting super choked up, but that's okay. It is what it is, and having emotions is what makes us human and what makes us beautiful. So don't sweat it. Guys, I encourage you, if there's somebody in your life who you know for a fact has impacted you in a life-changing way, reach out and let them know. It's not for you, it's for them, but it's letting them know that they did something good and that you appreciate it. I'm telling you, give it a try.